Okay, so that was the prosecution's opening statement from yesterday. This case is entering into day 2. It's a pretty exciting one. And also, we're trying to understand what's happening here. You're listening to the way that the prosecutor explains the heinous nature of this attack that was caught on surveillance footage. But we're very lucky right now because in the courtroom, reporting live, is our very own Aaron Keller. Aaron, I want to bring you on right now. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron, it's great to see you.
Hey, Jesse, what's going on in New York?
Not too much. Looks very hot there. Looks very muggy. But I want to talk about...
It's warm, yes.
It looks warm. So what's the vibe in New Hampshire, in the community, about this case? And maybe you can get a sense of it from being in the courtroom every day.
Okay, so a lot of people know, because I talk about this frequently, I lived up here in New Hampshire for about 5 years.
No way.
Yes. So I know you're stuck to New York City, Jesse. Look, the hair conditioner selection up here might not be up to snuff for you. But look, bottom line, New Hampshire residents are very politically vigilant. Of course, this is the first in the nation political primary. People here tend to be skeptical of government. That whole notion of limited government is very much alive and well here. It is the live free or die state. It is a state that gives defendants a lot more constitutional protections under the state constitution than the federal constitution affords. So defendants have a lot of protection here. You know, a lot of specific protections for search and seizure. And it's a state without a seatbelt law because that's perceived by people here as being the government kind of stepping in and telling individuals what to do. So you can drive around without a seatbelt here. This is some of what the defense was getting at in yesterday's opening statement, where the defense was really pushing jurors to say, hey, look, the prosecutors overcharged this case. It's bad. He did it. He's not a nice guy. They admitted that, but they said this is not second-degree assault because it doesn't amount to a depraved indifference to human life. That's one of the letters of the statute here in New Hampshire where the defendant is charged. And really, it's the only way that prosecutors could have gone for a top charge here, because other parts of the assault statute in New Hampshire would require serious bodily injury, and here there's no evidence that the injury was that serious.
Right, and they caught them all on tape, so it's hard to mount a defense, but maybe relying on the language of the statute is the way to do it. My question to you is, what is the motive behind this? Why did he attack her? And he conceded that was me on tape hitting her. What do we know about that? Okay,
so apparently this is what happened. Apparently this was an attack that was really aimed as some kind of payback for the defendant's suspicion that the victim's boyfriend had stolen money from a safe or something involving stolen money. And look, we heard the defendant say she didn't even know this guy. She had no clue who he was, didn't know why he attacked her. But allegedly, that's why this went down. And we heard a Home Depot manager say this guy was obsessed with this stolen safe, this stolen money, this fear that this particular victim's boyfriend had been the one who somehow stole something from him. So rather than attack the actual culprit in the in the defendant's mind, he goes and attacks this victim thinking that it would somehow injure the person he suspected of stealing money sort of through the back door.
And Aaron, I know we have about 1 minute left. I have to ask you a question. What do you expect today in the courtroom? I know you're reporting live about it. What do you expect that's going to happen today in day 2?
We expect the state to rest after one witness. We are not sure that we're not sure that the defense is even going to call a witness. We don't know if the defendant's going to testify. I'd be surprised if he did, though, based on just the way the case is going and a couple of other factors. So, look, we may have one witness and then, you know, a motion for dismissal, which I doubt would be granted here based on the evidence, and then probably jump into closing arguments. It's going to be interesting to see how late jurors go if they deliberate. And, of course, if the defendant takes the stand, that might change the whole game.
Yeah, but like as you said, it's probably unlikely. Listen, Aaron, thank you so much for being there, reporting. We can't wait to talk to you a little bit later on during a lunch break about what's happening.
All right, I'll see you later, Jesse.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a break here on our end, and we have a lot more to catch up on when we come back from this short break.